layers that I wanted to feel with the character. I didn't like the book. More tension and more pining and more slow burn. Hi guys, I am here today to pick out the first book of this color wheel prompt thing because we're gonna pick out our books this week with the color wheel. I want to find a wheel that has white and black in it, so I'm actually kind of confused. Oh, there you go. I think I found one. Okay, we have one that has like black and white and gray and stuff. I'm gonna screen record this so you guys can see it too. I am going to just spin the wheel to pick out our first book. I do have some books in mind. I'm just gonna spin the wheel now and we'll see where we land. Okay, we landed on black. Is there anything that I would like to read from black though? Give me a sec. I'm gonna look through my TBR cart and I'll give you my options. I picked out just two. I do have a few more, but these are the ones that really called out to me. And we have Leigh Bardugo's The Familiar and A Curse of Blood and Stone by K. Tucker. These are predominantly black. Honestly, I'm confused in terms of which book I prefer to pick up. Lengthwise, they're both pretty similar, maybe like a 30-page difference or something, but it's not that bad. They're both not very long. The smart option is this one just because this is in my TBR, my August TBR, and I do want to save this for the fall time. I'm gonna sit on this for like a few hours and then we're gonna see which one I pick up. I'm gonna show you guys in the b-roll. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna pick one of these two and then we'll see which one I end up picking up. I'm back again. No, I have not started on my book, but I have picked it out. But I want to just pick out all of the books I'm going to be reading in this reading vlog. I want to pick out the second and third book, just do it immediately in one go because I don't think I would have time to constantly run the color wheel. And also I just feel like it's so much easier for me to do this all in one go. So I'm going to run the color wheel now. Oh, we got white. I feel like we're getting so many monochrome colors, but okay, we got white. I'm gonna keep that in mind and I'm gonna run the last color. Okay, we got yellow. These are really good colors. Okay, I know exactly which book I want to pick for the yellow one, but for the white one, I think I do know which one I want to pick. This is actually very easy options. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys the books and we'll go from there. I do have these two books on my mind just because one is on my August TBR and the other one I've had for a very long time. So the white colored one we're gonna be reading is Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellers because I've had this for a very long time. I feel like maybe I would be interested in picking this up after reading a fantasy. We're gonna have Cleopatra and Frankenstein as our white book option. As for our yellow one, I'm a little bit scared of reading this, I'm not gonna lie, but this is the only yellow one I have and I feel like it's about time, and it's The Woven Kingdom by Tara Mafi. I have the second and third book of the series and I feel like it's about time to get into this, to finally dive into this world. The reason why I haven't really wanted to pick it up is because I didn't like Shatter Me, and I know that work was one that was written very long time ago and this is the most recent one, and so maybe it will be different and maybe I will like this one. So I will pick up This Woven Kingdom. I've heard great things about this one. Let's get started with our first book, which is A Curse of Blood and Stone by K. Tucker. And yeah, let us do some b-roll footage because I really want to get into this. It is the next day. I actually didn't give you guys an update yesterday because I wasn't feeling it. Yesterday I had to deal with some private matters. I ended up picking up The Familiar instead because I just wanted to read this book a lot more, and this is a standalone fantasy book, so I feel like it's just going to be an easier read for me. Right now I have read up until page 182. I'm almost halfway through the book. I actually didn't read a lot yesterday. I only started reading at night and then I read a lot more this morning, so I'm until halfway through already, which I'm very happy about. And this is a historical fiction slash fantasy book, by the way. The main character, Lucia, has magic and she's working as a servant in this rich household. One day the owner of this household figures out she has magic and wants to use Lucia to climb the social ladder in this world. And this book is set during the Spanish Inquisition, which is, I think, in the 1500s or 1600s, if I'm not wrong. It's a period of time where Jews and Muslims are being prosecuted. I think it's a very interesting part of history, but also I feel like, you guys can hear birds squeaking outside, by the way. I don't know what's going on. The birds are really annoying. I can't think. I'll give you guys an update later. The birds have stopped chirping, so I'm here to give my other updates. I think the plot has a uniqueness to it, and I think the setting is done very well. But I also think that so far, at least halfway through the book, I don't feel like the characters are pretty memorable. They fell flat for me. I thought that the depth of the characters are lacking, and there's not really much that I can envision when it comes to the character's personality. And Lucia especially just feels a little bit flat as a main character. She's the main protagonist, but I feel like there's not a spark in her that makes me really like her as a character. I'm not like not enjoying the book because I think it's very unique, and I do like the fact that I've never really read a book in this historical setting before, but I think I need more, and I don't know if it's going to give me more because we're halfway through the book. Hopefully when I continue reading this I will actually like it, but I just finished with work, and after that I'm going to continue on and read for the rest of the day and hopefully get this done today. I do like the writing, although I do feel like Leigh Bardugo's writing in Six of Crows is a lot better than this one. There's just some wit in that book, but this one I just felt was a little bit slow. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go and have my lunch, and then once I'm done and I'm done with everything, I'm gonna sit down and read this and finish this book, and I'll give you guys my final updates once I'm done with The Familiar. Yes, I did end up finishing The Familiar yesterday. I just didn't give an update because I was really tired from tennis, and also I sprained my ankle, so I was in a little bit of pain and I just didn't want to give an update. But I finished it yesterday night and I immediately went to bed after that, and I'm here to talk about my thoughts about this book just a tiny bit because I feel like I still haven't really processed the story yet, but from what I'm feeling right now, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like the plot of the book doesn't really give me much when it comes to feelings and emotions. It felt very flat. It felt very stagnant. Even the climax of this book wasn't climactic. I just didn't feel like it was necessary for the plot to go that way. So in general, it wasn't my favorite. Also, the characters just, they didn't have depth in terms of them as an individual and their relationship with other people. I need to leave, so I can't give another update. My mom just came to my room just now. I'll update you guys again when I'm back because I need to leave now. But yeah, just didn't feel like this book had anything. I didn't feel the layers that I wanted to feel with the characters. That's all I want to say. Currently nighttime and it's almost 11 p.m. and I'm here to give an update on Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellers. Now I'm up to page 158. This is chapter 9. First impressions of this book. In the beginning, I did feel like this book just didn't have much plot. It was mostly character driven, you following the story of these characters, and I was surprised to see that there were a lot of POVs in this book. All of these side characters center around Cleo and Frank and how they play a role in their lives and how the both of them getting married ended up changing the lives of these people. This is a book about Cleo and Frank. Cleo is a 24-year-old struggling artist who recently graduated. She is running out of her student visa and she is broke, and one day during a New Year's party she meets Frank, who is a very successful director of an advertising company, and he is way older than Cleo is. They end up getting married and that completely changes the trajectory of their lives. Even though it is very fun and interesting, I do find it a little bit millennial vibey where there's just too much drugs and alcohol involved in this book. I just feel like it's overused. The parties, the bars, the situation that they're in feels very hipster. That's how I feel about this book currently. It's a type of toxic where I don't actually sympathize with any of these characters, because when you're following a toxic relationship like Magnolia Parks, for example, you know they're meant to be, so you actually sympathize with them. But this one, I don't feel any sort of empathy for these characters, so I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the book right now. I am almost halfway through and I don't know how to feel about it. I will give you guys an update tomorrow instead. At this point, I'm just tired and I want to sit down and read, and that's it. So I'll give you guys an update tomorrow, hopefully with me being done with this book. Hey guys, I don't remember the last time I gave an update, honestly. I've been feeling like mentally and physically not very well. I just got my period, by the way, so I'm having really bad stomach cramps. I'm pretty sure I didn't give an update yesterday. I'm done with Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellers. The other reason why I didn't give much updates about this book was just simply I didn't really enjoy the book at all. Past the halfway point, I didn't really care about the characters, didn't really like any of the POVs. I didn't like the book, and there were a lot of things I didn't like about this book, but just mainly the fact that these characters were all just irritating and frustrating, and it didn't give me any sort of enjoyment reading about these people. You can be flawed and you can make mistakes, but you can be likable in a sense where I feel like you're a very realistic person. It makes sense for you to act a certain way. But with this one, I felt all of the characters were out of pocket. Things that they do, their actions, their friendships, their relationships, the way they treat each other, the way they treat themselves. I can't rationalize any of their actions. The constant drug abuse, the constant alcohol abuse, and them trying to be pseudo-intelligent in their own way, artistic and smart, but it just isn't that. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just not my book and I don't like it. I think the writing is great. I probably would pick up Coco Mellers' other release, which is called Blue Sisters. I feel like I'm tired reading this book and I just do not want to care about these people. I do not like them at all. I would have DNF'd this book if I wasn't reading it for a video, to be honest, but I don't like DNFing books when I'm reading it for a reading vlog. That's Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I don't know what else to say. I just don't like it. So I'm gonna continue my reading with This Woven Kingdom by Tara Mafi. I did start this morning. I am at chapter 4, page 36. And so far, I'm enjoying this book. From what I've read so far, you're following Eliza, who is our FMC. She is the long-lost princess of the Jinn Kingdom, and she's currently living as a maidservant in hiding in the Clay Kingdom, aka the Human Kingdom. The Jinn Kingdom, they have powers. I'm not really too sure what yet, but in this world, the Human Kingdom overpowers the Jinn Kingdom, and she is currently living in hiding, and she ends up getting the attention of the crown prince called Cameron, who is our MMC, I think. Not really too sure about that. I heard that it's a love triangle slash the main guy will change. I'm not really too sure. I have no idea. Don't put me on this. I'm currently having fun. I am learning the world. I am learning the characters, so I'm having a blast. I am going to continue reading this today and we'll see how much I can get through. I'm not feeling too well, but I have lots of things on my plate right now, so I'm gonna stop blabbing and yapping and I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna continue reading this and I'll give you guys updates if I've gone through a little bit more of This Woven Kingdom. I thought I would give a midway update just because I have gone through quite a lot of this book. I'm now at chapter 13. This is page 140. Yeah, I am so proud of myself that I've read this much, and currently it is only 6 p.m. so I have lots of time to read tonight. But oh gosh, I hit myself. But I'm having a lot of fun with this book. I really like it. It's very unique. It's very different than a lot of the YA fantasy books I've read, and I really like both characters, especially Eliza. Don't know how to say her name, but I'm enjoying her. I'm gonna call Eliza. Eliza and Cameron, who is our FMC and MMC, they just met and it's a really fun, like, tension-filled meeting. Also, I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this book. I haven't heard rave reviews about it, but I also haven't heard people talk badly about this book as well, so I don't know what the general consensus is with this book. There aren't mixed reviews. They're just like barely any reviews actually. However, I am having fun with it. I think the writing is great. It is a little bit lyrical and it's a lot of passive tones, which to me is a little bit harder to understand. Compared to our previous book, this is great. So I'm going to continue reading this and I will update you guys again tonight. I'm probably going to read a lot tonight because I just want to sit down and read and not really do anything. So I'll probably give you guys another update tonight. We shall see. And yeah, I'm gonna do some B-roll footage and you guys will see me reading this book. Currently nighttime. It is almost 12 midnight. I've been reading This Woven Kingdom from just now and I am now at page 260. I'm more than halfway through this book. I'm at chapter 23. I am having a great time reading this, but as for characters, I do like Eliza, who is our FMC, but I don't know how I feel about Cameron. I can't really pinpoint it, but I feel like there are just some parts of him that feels a little bit off. There are some things that he says about his character, about him not really liking women and not really seeing their face and liking them for their intelligence, but he falls for Eliza really quickly because she is a very pretty woman. So I don't know how to feel about that. I think the plot is really pushing the book forward, and I'm excited to see how this enemies to lovers is gonna go about. I'm excited to see how Eliza is going to claim her birthright, and I want to know more. I'm gonna continue to read a little bit more before I go to bed. I'm gonna turn the lights off and everything, and I'm gonna read a lot tomorrow because tomorrow, thankfully, I don't have anything to do. Hoping to get this done by tomorrow morning, cross my fingers, but the reading experience is pretty quick just because the writing is pretty big. And so I'm like flipping through pages pretty quickly. I'm gonna go now. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll give you guys an update tomorrow.
For behold, I bring you tidings of great joy.
I thought I would give an update on This Woven Kingdom by Tara Mafi because I have read up until page 385. This is chapter 32. I do have some thoughts about this. I do like the plot and the setting overall, but I think the pacing of the book is a little bit weird, where in some parts things are happening really quickly. And I like the fact that it's not boring, even though there's lots of descriptions, but sometimes the pacing can really slow down and there'll be like 10 pages of complete nonsense, nothing really happening. For some reason, I fly through the book pretty quickly, considering how there are not really a lot of things happening in this book and not a lot of plot points being hit in this book. But for some reason, I'm flying through the book. I don't know how to explain it. It's enjoyable, but I know that in terms of the pacing, it's a little bit off-putting. And another thing is the romance in here. I do really like having romance in fantasy books, but it's not like this in a sense where I felt like the romance was going on really quickly. It felt a little bit like insta love. I'm not a fan of that, and I would have preferred just not to have any romance in the first book of a fantasy series if I can get more tension and more pining and more slow burn. But this one was just really quick. I think those two are like the main issue I have with this book. Overall, writing is a little bit, like I have mentioned, I don't really like it, but I think the plot and the setting is done really well. So I'm gonna continue on reading. I only have 100 pages left. I think I can power through this in like the last 1 hour. And right now it is 12:45 p.m. So I do have lots of time before I need to go for tennis. I have tennis at 4 p.m. So I'm gonna get this done as soon as possible, and then I'll give you guys my final update later. That is going to be it for this update. I'm gonna see you guys later. My hair is being a ruckus right now. I'm hating it. I am about to go and chop most of it off tomorrow. I'm excited to chop it off, but anyway, I am here to give an update on This Woven Kingdom by Tara Mafi. I officially finished reading it just now. I'm so happy. I changed into my tennis outfit. I'm gonna go and play tennis in like an hour. So I changed and I finished reading This Woven Kingdom. I'm so happy I finished it. I think this is a great first book to a fantasy series, and I did mention a few of the problems I had with this book, some of the cons I felt with this book, but overall I think it's a very strong YA fantasy series, strong first book of a series. And also I really like the ending. I thought the ending makes me really want to pick up the second book. Also, there was a section of this book where I was actually surprised by what was revealed, because I predicted most of what happened, but there's this one that I did not expect. It's a great reveal. I think it's going to give lots of insight into the second book, and I think there are going to be lots of things, lots of new information that I would love to know about the fantasy world and the magic system of this whole kingdom and the series, and I just want to know more. So I actually do really want to get into the second book very soon. I'm now really excited. However, I really do not like the romance in this. I think it's just not my favorite. I would have preferred if there was no romance. Actually, I felt like the setting was just really good. I love the fantasy world. So I think I'm gonna rate this either like a 3.5 or a 3.75. I think because I didn't really like the romance, the pacing felt a little bit off, the writing was quite difficult to read. I cannot rate this above a 4 stars, but I would want to read the second book of the series. 3.75 is my final rating for this Woven Kingdom, and that is going to be it for this video because we've officially read the last book of this reading vlog. Anyway, these are the 3 books I read in this reading vlog, and overall I wouldn't say that they were all bad reads, but they were just very mediocre reads. The first book I read is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I decided to rate this at 3 stars. I can understand that it's a standalone, so the world building and the magic system is not well built. Characters were just very flat. I did kind of like the romance a bit more. And then with Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellors, I think I'm gonna rate this like a 1.5. I actually do like the writing in this. I like Coco Mellors' writing. I would love to pick up Blue Sisters with a different premise than this. I just think the plot is what I don't like, the characters I don't like. So yeah, 1.5 stars. And obviously with this Woven Kingdom, 3.75. I like that we ended this off with a good read. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It will mean a lot to me. And if you guys have read these books, let me know what you think about them. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!